Hi guys, welcome to Cryptids Canada. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope everybody's getting ready for their nice long weekend. Tomorrow's Canada Day, and Monday is July 4th, which is the American holiday. So I hope y'all have a safe and happy holiday. I have my kids and my grandkids coming. I just went and bought a nice new barbecue. My son is bringing the steaks and I'm providing the barbecue. I think that's a nice fair trade. I just love it when my kids and my grandkids are here. We have so much fun. Anyways, okay, so this one is titled, We Hit a Very Large Bigfoot. Okay, hi Les and crew. I'm new to the Bigfoot community, but I've been listening to you in other channels and I love it. I don't have a long history, but our experience has really scared us pretty badly. I hope you can let us know what your thoughts are and if we're on the right track. I'll do my best. A few years ago, my wife and I bought a cute little bungalow in the rural part of Oregon. I think all of Oregon is pretty rural. Anyways, it's on less than an acre of land, but we love the peacefulness of it. So one evening in the fall of 2019, we had gone for an early dinner and we were on our way down Highway 86 heading towards Oxbow, Oregon. The plan was to throw a blanket down on the back lawn and stargaze when we got home. It was our favorite pastime. You know, this story sounds pretty familiar. I'm wondering if I've read it before. Anyways, I just received this, so let's assume that I haven't read it before. Anyways, so he goes on, he says, my wife Renata was driving because I had had a beer with my dinner. It was about 6 p.m., I think, and it was coming on dark. We had the radio on and we were just chatting away. We were about 2 minutes from home, and out of nowhere, it seems, Renata says, hey, Paul, what is that on the side of the road? Then she starts to slow down. This very large bipedal man / Bigfoot creature that had been standing with its back towards us swirls around and takes one big step, and all of a sudden it's in front of us. Bam! We clip it with the front driver's side bumper. Now, we had slowed down, thank God, because if we'd have hit it at the speed we were going, we would have probably done much more damage. But as it was, it fell forward, and then it seemed to leap across the other lane and onto the side of the road. We stopped the car all the way and turned in our seats and watched it as it jumped across a big ditch. And here's the part that really scared us. It stopped and looked at us for like 10-15 seconds, it seems, and then casually walked into the woods on the side of the road. Both of us were shaking pretty bad, but managed to drive home, where we noticed that the front end was dented and the hood was bowed a little bit. Luckily, a friend of ours could fix it for us. Now, here's the weird part. We have heard other stories very similar to ours, but luckily ours didn't end quite as badly as other stories we have heard. So after getting organized, we spread the blanket out on the ground as we had planned. We laid down in our backyard and began to stargaze. It was about 5 minutes, maybe, when a rock flies through the air and hits Renata in her thigh. She thought that I slapped her. Then another rock hit me in the chest. What the heck, I said, and I sat up. I looked, and sure enough, I found a rock, and it wasn't very big, but where the heck did it come from? Renata also sat up, and she found the rock that hit her as well. At this moment, Renata's brother called to chat, and she told him about hitting the Bigfoot, and he said, "Well, I'd be careful because those things like to get even." Renata says, "The heck are you talking about? How do you know that?" And he said, "I've heard stories. You didn't kill the Bigfoot, did you? Because if you did, then the family will come after you to get even." I could see that Renata was taking him seriously and getting scared. And then another rock came sailing at us again, and she yelled, "What the hell, Paul? Who's throwing rocks?" And then her brother said, "See, it's the Bigfoot." She told him she had to go, and we just basically sat there looking around. When we realized that there couldn't really be anything in our woods that could technically throw a rock, and we didn't have any neighbors close to us, we made a beeline into the house. That scared the heck out of us. That was enough. Renata ended up calling her brother back and explaining in detail what happened from the time we hit the Bigfoot until the time he called, and about all the rocks that we'd been hit by, and then after she got off the phone and how we came running into the house. He suggested that we take a box and put some food in it, like bread, fruit, and anything else that we could, and put it on the car where the dent was. If it's gone in the morning, then it was a Bigfoot. And if it's still there, then who knows what it was. Well, guess what? The whole box was gone, food and all. We had literally no doubt what it was that was throwing the rocks at us. We live just off the highway and have no neighbors. After that, we never had any rocks thrown at us again. I'd love to hear what your subscribers think. Signed, Renata and Paul. I think your brother was pretty accurate. From what I know about these types of things, Bigfoot are kind of petty beings. It's basically as cut and dry as an eye for an eye. So, take it how you like, but you survived it, you learned a lesson. Just be careful and keep your eyes open, especially where you live. Okay, guys, I think I've got another short story I can read. Okay, so this one is just titled Boyhood Encounter. My name is Matt, and this is what happened to me. I grew up in the Ozarks in southwest Missouri. This happened in 1980. I lived in a subdivision that was surrounded by woods. The road my house was on had about 5 houses on it, and it was dead-ended. We were the only people living on this road at the time. All the other houses were empty. The moon was full that night. I rolled over in my bed, and a giant figure came up to the window. My mom put up curtains, but you could see through them because the material was very thin. The top of its head was at the top of my window, and its shoulders were really wide. I could see that it was covered in hair. I couldn't see its face very well because the moon was casting its face in a shadow. I could hear its breathing very deeply. I was frozen from terror. It swayed slightly. I was afraid it was going to reach in and get me. My parents were in the other room watching TV, and I couldn't even scream. It eventually took a step back and turned and walked away. I know it wasn't a bear. I know it wasn't a person playing a joke because my dad was law enforcement and no one ever drove down to the end of the road. The next day, I told my sister what had happened, and we went outside, and there were footprints. I got a tape measure, and the footprints were 18 inches long. It had walked up to my window, then around to the side of the house, and then up into the woods. The top of my window is 9 feet tall. I wouldn't go outside at night for about 6 years after that alone. I had many nightmares about it getting me. I would often wake up in a cold sweat. I told my mom about it 5 years ago. I asked her if she remembers when I wouldn't go outside at night, and she remembered and was surprised when I told her about it. She told me that my dad believed in them. He was Canine Patrol on a strategic air command base in Washington. They would come up to the fences and they would see them and find footprints. I regret that I never told him about it. He was a very disciplined man, and I never thought he would believe me. Because I know Sasquatch exists, it's opened the possibility that anything can exist, and anything's possible. I served in the military, and nothing has frightened me as much as that encounter. I don't go into the woods, and I have no desire to see another one. I feel like if I did go into the woods, they would find me. From other people's stories, it sounds like there's a lot of encounters here in the Ozarks. I enjoy your channel, and I want to thank you for giving those of us a platform to tell our encounters. Matt, you are so welcome, and that is the whole point. That is what this channel is all about. I'm here to tell your encounters and your stories, whatever they may be, and I hope I do them justice. Okay, I have a comment of the day. I've been kind of forgetting to do them, and then I remember after I'm done. Anyways, so this one goes to Rizzalucy. I think that's how you say it. I hope so. Anyways, wow. I pray these ladies are telling the truth because I believe them 100%. I'm crying over Renawa's kindness and love towards Peepaw and Uncle Ted as a baby. So excited to hear about Meemaw and her fear and how she handled it. A huge lesson to others when they experience fear and how to handle it. Most humans experience fear when we don't recognize something or a situation. Fear does not always mean something negative will happen. I think this is what most people don't understand during many of these Bigfoot encounters. Yes, they are very frightening, but that doesn't mean something bad is happening. It's just new and unknown, just thoughts. I thought that was a really cool comment, and so thank you very much for that, Rizzalucy. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget, hit the like, hit the bell for notifications, and subscribe. And I hope to be back here in a couple of days. Bye for now.